So, a couple things at play here. Number one, whenever I leave to go do something fun, the Vikings actually do something. I feel like they're actually trolling me. Number two, Rick Spielman watches this channel. Come on, baby. So, we talked about this morning that the Las Vegas Raiders of Oakland were releasing former second-round pick P.J. Hall, defensive tackle, and the Vikings should scoop him up. I mean, toss him into the mix. Not a true one-for-one replacement for Michael Pierce, but would be certainly a nice addition to the defensive tackle room. Maybe pan out some of the potential that the Raiders saw a couple years ago. Why not? Why the hell not? So instead of picking him up as a free agent, Rick Spielman, deciding he did not want to fight with the market, decided to ship a 2021 conditional 7th-round pick to the Raiders for the rights of P.J. Hall, which is great. It's smart. Of course, how we know how much Rick Spielman values his late-round picks, and this actually often happens where, well, not often, but it happens frequently enough where a player it'll be announced that they'll be cut by a team, usually through insiders, not an official announcement. Then all of a sudden, they get traded for some late-round chicken feed just so that the trading team can have the player's rights as opposed to having to bid against other teams in the market. Happens all the time, right? So this is what happened here. And also, for the Raiders, it does seem weird to give up on a second-round pick after 2 seasons, but then, again, you realize that general manager Mike Mayock, he didn't draft him. That was one John Gruden's first season with the Raiders, as well as 2018 was Reggie McKenzie's final draft, so he was the one quasi-calling the shots, even though to a degree it was John Gruden, but, for one reason or another, hadn't worked out with Hall, right? So also, of note, so we pointed this out this morning as well. P.J. Hall, he's played 2 years in Paul Guenther's defense with the Raiders. Guenther was Zimmer's protege, working with him in Cincinnati on the defense, as well as succeeded him as defense coordinator under Marvin Lewis. Now, schemes ain't one-for-one match, but there's going to be a lot of similar gap responsibilities, a lot of technique, a lot of verbiage that's going to cross over, and P.J. Hall, frankly, is going to be able to hit the ground running. And I wouldn't be shocked if P.J. Hall... I wouldn't be shocked if P.J. Hall is a starter week 1. I wouldn't. Or at least plays a decent amount of starter reps. Like plays 40, 45 snaps his first game. I wouldn't be shocked at all. So get to meet your new Minnesota Fighting Viking. Background: P.J. Hall, 25 years old, 6'1", 308 pounds, a former 2-star recruit from Seguin, Texas. Decided to take his talents to Sam Houston State. Former teammates of Davion Davis, wide receiver / punt return. Let's go. Pew, pew, pew. Let's go Bearcats. Absolutely dominated the FCS level for the powerhouse Sam Houston State Bearcats. 284 career tackles over 4 seasons. Also, they make the FCS playoffs all 4 years with Hall. Pretty awesome. 86.5 tackles for loss, 42 sacks, 9 forced fumbles, 14 block kicks, which he's not a long man that I know of. So that means that he's just penetrating gaps. He's getting in there. He's getting his hands up. It's great. Good to see, right? Was a 2-time unanimous FCS All-American, 2016 Southland Conference Defensive Player of the Year, as well as finalist for the Buck Buchanan Award, which is the equivalent of the SCS Defensive Heisman. Ironically, incidentally, that year it went to former Viking roster participant Carter Schultz out of Northern Iowa, stud. Now, P.J. Hall wasn't a combine invite. He actually ended up being at 57th overall, the highest drafted non-combine invite in over a decade. Did show well at the 2018 East-West Shrine Game. Now, 2018 was the season before Adam Zimmer and Edwards was involved in the 2019 Shrine Game, so they didn't have a crossover there. But overall, did have a great pro day. He ran a 4.71 40, which is just absolutely redonkulous, as well as pairing that up with a 38-inch vert. Now, it does seem like every other year, there's a small school defensive lineman that gets a lot of hype, maybe a little bit too much hype. Was P.J. Hall one of those guys? It's possible. But you were seeing comparisons to Sheldon Richardson and Sharif Floyd and Grady Jarrett, as well as Aaron Donald. So maybe not, but certainly was an athletic freak and definitely dominated the FCS level. Now, the Raiders, after drafted him in the second round, basically used him as a rotational platoon part-time player. He played 512 snaps his rookie season 2018, 551 last season, his final year in silver and black. And then I mean, the Raiders, with Mayock coming in, they were basically just working to replace him. I mean, they signed Malik Collins from Dallas. They brought in Jonathan Hankins from the Giants, as well as drafted Mo Hurst later on in the 2018 draft. Now, remember, Mo Hurst was a defensive tackle out of Michigan who fell all the way to 5th round because of issues with his heart. Apparently, no issues there. He's developing to a very nice player, and he's really stepping up and took some snaps away from P.J. Hall. But last year, with those 551 snaps, he recorded 19 tackles, 23 pressures, and 1.5 sacks, as well as did play against the Vikings week 3, played pretty well. 38 snaps, put up 2 pressures and a tackle, as well as recorded his second highest PFF rushing grade of the season. Now, he's not a true, like we said, he's not a true one-for-one replacement for Pierce. He's not a true nose tackle, but he did play quite a few snaps as a 0 or 1 tech, multi-gapping last year. He did play 77 of his 551 snaps at the nose, 14%. So he does have that flexibility. He didn't necessarily get the time of day on third downs, which I think would be a great usage of him, especially at that nose spot. Akin to how the Vikings had occasionally used Sharif Floyd 2014-2015 as a pass rushing nose on third down, as well as passing situations. But also, I think that he does have a very good shot to win the 3-tech job because, love James Lynch, love Armon Watts, but I think P.J. Hall with a little bit more experience as well as some quasi-experience with a similar scheme could come in right away and just blow the doors off the roof, as Jordan would say. He's not a neophyte against the run, posted run defense grades of 69.4 in 2018 and 67.4 in 2019. Just for reference, Luke pointed out earlier today, Linval's run defense grade last year was 66.3, which was by far the worst of his Vikings career. So I think that Hall does have a shot. I think that he is an extreme penetrator. I think that he has a lot of athleticism. I think that Andre Patterson could coax a lot of potential out of him. And even though he's still on his rookie deal, Vikings have his rights for 2 more years at a rather cheap price, being a 2nd-round pick. I'm excited to see what happens because, like I said, I would not be shocked at all. P.J. Hall comes in and just lays the wood, and even without preseason, we see him week 1, historic U.S. Bank Stadium, just blowing up Billy Turner, blowing up the interior Packers offensive line, and let's go. I mean, great draft for defensive line. I love all the guys that picked up. Love James Lynch. Love DJ Wanham. Of course, love Hercules Mataafa at that 3-tech spot. Love me some Armon Watts, but man, P.J. Hall, just as a dart throw, see what the hell happens. I'm excited. Andre Patterson excited too. You should be excited as well. All right, so your thoughts, P.J. Hall, new Viking. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. If you want to support the work, pull us on the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.